If you have a dog, you know that keeping them active and safe while you work or travel is a serious budget line item. This chart highlights the gap. An occasional user might spend $150 a month on a few drop-in days, but if you rely on commercial care regularly throughout the year, your combined monthly cost can easily clear $1,500. That spend usually falls into one of two categories: daytime behavioral management, which we call daycare, and overnight lodging, or boarding. The pricing differences between these two services come down to how they are structured, not strictly the number of hours your dog spends at the facility. Daycare is a volume-based model. You are paying for 6 to 10 hours of active, continuous supervision in a group setting. Boarding relies on a facility resource model. The nightly rate secures a physical space, private sleeping quarters, and basic logistics, spanning a 12 to 16-hour window from evening to morning. If you treat these two pricing models the same way, you will end up buying passes that expire before you can use them, or paying steep premiums for hidden fees. Let's look at daycare first. A single full-day drop-in usually costs between $30 and $45. It gives you maximum flexibility if your schedule is unpredictable. But relying entirely on single-day rates is mathematically the most expensive way to use daycare over a full year. Looking at this daycare pricing matrix, bulk purchasing drops your daily cost to $28. But the catch is expiration. Most packages expire in 90 days. If you drop in rarely, those remaining days vanish. The same logic applies to unlimited monthly memberships, which run between $250 and $400. If your dog isn't attending at least 4 days a week, the math rarely works in your favor. Your base rate can also fluctuate depending on the specific demographic profile of your dog. Puppies under 6 months old usually carry a higher daily rate because they require closer supervision and structured breaks throughout the day. Large breeds over 50 pounds often face a premium as well, simply because they consume more physical space in the play areas and require different staffing ratios. Getting a strong return on your daycare investment requires matching the size of your bulk package exactly to a predictable weekly routine. Boarding requires a completely different approach. The advertised nightly rate usually covers exactly 3 things: a private sleeping area, basic feeding using provided food, and daily morning and evening breaks. Everything else falls into the category of unbundled services, meaning essential care activities are stripped out of the base price and sold separately. This chart reveals standard boarding's biggest omission: daytime group play. It's often an optional add-on. If you start with a $45 base rate and stack a $20 daily play fee, your true cost jumps to $65. You also have to budget for other unbundled line items. Medication administration is frequently billed per dose, and a bath before pickup is almost always an extra charge. How long your dog stays will also impact the structure of the invoice. Most commercial kennels require a stay of at least 7 nights to unlock a discounted weekly package, bringing the per-night average down. You also have to book weeks in advance if you want to avoid surge pricing and blackout dates during peak holidays, like Thanksgiving or spring break. This structured pricing is why commercial facilities often look more expensive upfront than home-based pet sitters found on gig economy apps. Commercial facilities charge that nightly premium to guarantee fixed professional staffing levels and dedicated physical amenities that a residential home simply cannot provide. To accurately evaluate a boarding option, you have to ignore the advertised base rate and calculate the total, all-inclusive cost of care. Daycare pricing scales down with volume. Boarding pricing scales up with add-ons and seasonality, which means your purchasing strategy should be dictated by your specific lifestyle. Let's look at the daily commuter. If you work a hybrid schedule and need care a few times a week, stick to 10-day passes. Avoid unlimited monthly memberships unless your dog is definitively attending 5 days a week. Now consider the frequent traveler. If you take regular trips, look for facilities that offer an all-inclusive boarding rate, where daytime play is baked in. That structure is reliably cheaper than a low base rate paired with mandatory daily upsells. Before you hand over your credit card to any facility, this checklist highlights 3 questions you need to ask. First, if we're buying a bulk daycare pass, exactly how many days do you have until it expires? Second, if you are booking an overnight stay, is daytime play included in the nightly rate, or will it be billed separately? Third, do they apply peak season surcharges during major holidays, and when do those rates take effect? Ask for a fully itemized list of potential add-on fees up front, so nothing is left to chance on the final invoice. Once the numbers make sense, schedule a free temperament evaluation. That confirms the facility's environment actually aligns with your dog's behavioral needs before you spend a dime.